Bruce MacDougall talks to Clover Moore about issues in this weekend's Sydney council elections, including plans to boost live music in the capital. If confirmed, the result would be even more extraordinary given a new voting system that some say was designed specifically to oust Ms. Moore from the Sydney CBD council. A source close to the campaign told years.It Ms. Moore was pretty darn confident of victory. Results are now coming in from across the state in the NSW's local council elections, and there's a big toxic issue that could see support peel away from the coalition who currently hold power in the state. Of the 129 local councils in New South Wales, the councillors in 79 are up for re-election, with a number also handing it to their residents to elect a mayor. One of the most closely watched fights is in the city of Sydney, where rivals were looking to kick Lord Mayor Clover Moore out of the town hall throne she's occupied for 12 years. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. With 40,000 votes counted, Ms. Moore has 61% of the vote, up from the 51% she received in 2012. The Liberals' Christine Forster is in second place with 16%, while Labor's Linda Scott is on 11%. Candidates of Clover Moore's independent team are mirroring her mayoral result, also polling around 60%, which could give the political veteran a majority of councillors in the city chamber. A contentious voting reform means that businesses in the city get 2 votes to the residents' 1. It's a situation that only exists in the city of Sydney, and many have interpreted it as a blatant attempt to dislodge Ms. Moore. But supporters of the changes say businesses are critical to the success of the city of Sydney and deserve a bigger say. Dr. Bly Grant, a senior lecturer at UT's Institute for Public Policy and Governance, said the results in Sydney and the swing towards Ms. Moore were very interesting. Talking to News.Com.Au, he said Ms. Moore's success was due to the power of incumbency and the positive sentiment towards Clover, but the fact of the 2 votes for business has played a role as well. However, Dr. Grant said the fact that Ms. Moore looks to be heading to victory despite the voting changes may actually legitimise them and ensure they stay in place. The first council elections in New South Wales since Mike Baird took over as a premier in 2014. The poll could also prove to be an unofficial referendum on his leadership. While initially popular, the Premier has ruffled feathers with his support of the controversial Sydney pub and lockout laws, and his ban on greyhound racing. Dr. Grant said the government labelled Fit for the Future council mergers could bite the coalition on the electoral bum. The Fit for the Future reform process has been one of the most contentious and expensive structural reforms probably in Australia's history. So I would expect some significant local government ramifications. Up to 2 million people living in 49 local government areas including Newcastle, Wollongong and much of inner Sydney have been denied a vote because their councils have either been merged or have been earmarked for amalgamation. These councils will be run by administrators dubbed Mr. Baird's unelected dictators by opposition leader Luke Foley, until elections in September 2017. It's caused a ruction. It's made the whole notion of local government, some would say, very controversial, but other people would say very toxic, said Dr. Grant. He predicted that it could lead to some voters rejecting the coalition. Despite the changes, a huge range of councils did go to the polls on Saturday, from Blacktown, once the largest authority in New South Wales with 300,000 residents, to tiny Brewarrina Shire, which services just 1,700 locals. My word for tonight is Clovered definition: when a gerrymander backfires. #Team Clover, #New South Wapo. Famous names including footy legend Ian Robertson, the former head of the Australian Medical Association, and frequent media commentator on health issues. Karen Phelps, a standing in Sydney. A famous face who isn't up for election is property developer and former Auburn Deputy Mayor Salam Mayhaya. The entire council was sacked by the government and an inquiry is currently underway into decisions made by councillors, as if to ensure Auburn could never return. The government then split the authority in two and divided it up to its neighbouring councils. Other councils to watch include Liverpool, where a bitter battle has seen a number of likely candidates fall by the wayside, including former mayor and one-time rising Liberal star Ned Mannon, who was one of Australia's youngest mayors. Plans for an ice smoking room in the area have become a hot topic. Meanwhile, in Blacktown, in Sydney's west, an infamous face is hoping for election success with the Liberals' James Diaz standing. You may remember the face because he's the chap who stood in the 2013 federal election, and when asked by a reporter what the coalition's six-point plan was to limit asylum seekers, he got stumped after one. Mr. Diaz's father is already on the council, and Blacktown's Labor Mayor Stephen Barley has accused the Liberal patriarch of attempting to create a Diaz town. But Dr. Grant said in the end, local elections are often won or lost on local issues, so the machinations on Macquarie Street may have less of an effect than thought. Benedict.Brooke@news.com.A